Good morning. It's going on 10 o'clock Shanghai time, and as you guys can see, this is my first taste of pseudo-freedom.
So let's review. For the past 61 days, I've been stuck in my apartment since apparently Shanghai had a COVID outbreak, so bad as almost nobody died. But for our own safety, they opted to seal the city of 25 million in their homes. Lockdown. So yeah, I've had nothing to do than, work remotely, eat, drink, shower, and occasionally wink, wink, nod, nod, because the wife is also trapped with me in the house. So what else are you going to do? But hey, today the possibility of pseudo-freedom was offered, and I jumped on that grenade. What's pseudo-freedom, you're probably asking yourself? Well, of course, you've probably heard that Shanghai is ending the lockdown. They're not. And the long and skinny is, some complexes are issuing temporary passes to leave for a few hours to go spend some hard-earned cash at Carrefour.
We're getting our first taste of pseudo-freedom, so yay! I'm double masking it up, of course.
And since my apartment complex is supposedly free of the zombie flu, I asked the Jiwei, our apartment housing committee handlers, really nicely, and they gave me a 3-hour tour pass. It's not so much a pass as effectively a conjugal visit for your lockdown repressed mind. Yeah, pseudo-freedom.
So, in order to get out to go shopping today, I had to get my QR code from Shanghai, green. I had to get my trip code saying I haven't been anywhere else, green. I had to get my self-test uploads, so my self-COVID test uploaded, green. I had to get a letter from the Jiwei, which is my apartment complex manager, saying it's okay to go out. I had to get permission in the form of a little stamped and chopped thing officially, and a specific time I can shop at the Carrefour. It's only valid for one time. I had to get, there's one other QR code I had to get as well. Let's see, a letter from a third grade teacher and 2 vital organs. Their choice. So yeah, it's kind of insane the number of things I need to get, and then I had to wait in the line. It's literally 2 blocks long. 你排队吗? Yeah. People cutting. Hey, 排队! Yeah, guys not queuing up. So guys just keep cutting in line. You gonna 排队? You gonna 排队吗? 你不排队? Oh, okay. he ain't pied away and he ain't lining it up. So it is what it is. But yeah, all of this just, look at this line. All of this just to buy a loaf of bread. And it's like 1981 Soviet Union. So, but hey, it is what it is, right?
At this point, all Snarky can do is to wait in line. For those of you who have heard that Shanghai has ended the lockdown, there is further evidence that no, they have not.
This line is freaky long, dude. Police everywhere, and yes, some of them had guns. So, all this to buy a loaf of bread. It's like it's 1981 Soviet Union, boys and girls, but fences and dudes in stormtrooper suits. Yeah. Gots to love it.
China enjoyed 2 years of comparative normalcy because of the millions of vaccines that were given to the people and the locking of the borders. And now the price is restricted shopping? Did we pay for this comparative normalcy on credit? Once through the line, Snarky had to present all his cokes to the nice man with the gun before walking into a completely abandoned shopping mall through the roped-off sections leading down to Carrefour, at which point it was the time to sterilize his hands and then glove it up, check his temperature, and then Snarky was free to go inside.
So yeah, I'm in Carrefour right now. I had to wait through 2 blocks of lines. No basket. Fortunately, I came prepared.
So I found very few people had ventured out of the instant food and snack aisles. Downstairs, for example, was the cat food and mouthwash area, which is probably not a coincidence. And it was mostly empty anyway. As if preparing for the apocalypse, or perhaps another 2 months of lockdown, which is basically the same thing, people on the main floor were stuffing all sorts of instant foods in their sacks and trolleys, and possibly their pockets, which was handy since they decided to pull all the shopping carts and wouldn't let us use them. Yeah, I suspect this is a move to prevent people from buying everything, including the kitchen sink and everything that wasn't locked down, and thus prevent them from staying too long as they wish to wash, press, and dry clean the entire store before the next batch of shoppers with their government-approved shopping appointments came in to wash, rinse, and repeat. Now I, on the other hand, wasn't interested in the standard fare of duck kidneys or spicy duck tongue, so I made myself a list of must-haves, would-like-to-haves, and would-be-nice items to bring home on my scooter. I may have gotten a little carried away, however.
So, I've been in Carrefour for about 40 minutes now, and I'm in line, and it's long every way you look, unfortunately. So, if you decide to brave the line for your spicy duck tongue, then yeah, be prepared to wait a while for it. So, it's Shanghai's people's first taste of freedom, so it's understandable that they're going to go to a little bit crazy shopping. I know I did. Still not up to the cash register yet. This little shopping adventure is going to turn out to be about 3 hours before it's all said and done. Just for a little bit of bread, little dumplings. So, and I picked up some baby cereal for a lady in my building. So yeah, is it worth it? Probably not. But hey, first taste of freedom.
So even after my strict 40-minute time limit they'd given me had expired, I still found myself in line to pay. Each line was roped off to limit the amount of people who could swap lines or cut in line and, in theory, keep everyone socially distanced. Yeah, this didn't seem to work as people were still swapping in lines, cutting in line, and of course were packed in tighter than the Clampett's car in the Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, I just dated myself, didn't I? Yeah, the checkout experience was a bit rushed as well, as there was nobody bagged my groceries, and given the hordes of people waiting in line behind me, the cashier was firmly in I Love Lucy assembly line mode to get everyone out as quick as possible. Thankfully, I brought my e-scooter to carry everything, which is good, because I bought entirely too much stuff during my one-time Shanghai shopping excursion. So yeah, I successfully escaped the Shanghai Lockdown. Well, at least for a few hours anyway. As I was under strict marching orders to be back at my complex within 3 hours, and I had already burned the lion's share of that waiting in line at the supermarket, there was no opportunity for me to explore what is largely an abandoned city of 26 million. So then, what did I learn from the experience? For one, if you're living a largely sedimentary lifestyle indoors for 2 months where the majority of your exercise is sitting, laying, and keeping the wife, suddenly trying to carry the equivalent of 3 hussy-sized children for several hours will leave you plenty sore for a few days after. Nobody challenged me on the ride home. There's simply nobody out to worry about this sort of thing. Here's a skinny. Anyone out of the quarantine zone is assumed to have a pass to be outside. Thus, there's nobody to inquire if you should or should not be there. Of course, there are multiple police checkpoints throughout the city of Shanghai, each with the intention of keeping the denizens of Shanghai bottlenecked into one area or the next, and thus keeping the virus contained. But within a city this big, fully encapsulated, there will always be a need for several logistics people to be out and about, ferrying goods around the town, and thus the visual need of several checkpoints is necessary to complete the illusion of stymieing the Big O. Sadly, it's become somewhat circular in that zero COVID has become zero ending. But hey, that's a topic for another day. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're still in lockdown, still in our gilded cages. Our apartment complex is still sealed off, and outside of this rare pole vault over the fence, we only get to come downstairs for our daily PCR testing. We've got no expectation of when the lockdown will be over, but at least I have a few more snacks, and the cat has a clean toilet. So yeah, we'll pencil this one in the win column. Take care, guys.
It's the Snarky Guy on the ground in Shanghai.
And just like that, we've reached the end of the video, which means you now have the opportunity to smash, wham, slam, and wallop that subscribe button thus never again missing another Snarky Guy video. And not too hard now, a keyboard is a terrible thing to waste. Click the bell icon to get notified, of course. In the meantime, here's a few more Snarky Guy videos because
I know you're gonna dig this.